I DNF'd two extremely popular books this month, and it completely changed my reading selection for the month. So let's do my February wrap up. Starting with Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This book I have been trying to read for the past 3 months. And even though I feel like it's a soft DNF because I most likely will finish it, I just cannot get through this thing. I mean, first off, it's nearly 1,000 pages. It is got 4 storylines, tons of politicking. It is in third person. It is just challenging to read. So I just want to get through it. I just don't know when and how and what or where, but I pick it up every single month thinking I'm going to finish it. And this month, soft DNF. Next is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Now, I had high hopes for this. I did soft DNF this. I will finish it, though, because I reread everything in the graphic audio when I was gearing up for Onyx Storm's release, and I think I'm just going to sit my butt down and patiently wait for the graphic audio version of this book because I just could not get through it. And I do love this series, Miss Rebecca, I really do, but we were not getting along and I could not finish it. And it changed the rest of the book selections for the month, let me tell you. Next was The Wolf King by Lauren Powell Freeman. Now, I did a review solo on this because I absolutely freaking love this book. Like, if you're into romance, if you're into fantasy, pick this book up. It had just the perfect balance between the both. The storyline was not just based on the relationship buildup. They're really good segue if you're into ACOTAR and you love the whole, Tamlin Rhysand saga. This will kind of scratch that itch for you. So I definitely recommend picking this book up, and I cannot wait for the next one's release. Read is The Coldest Winter by Brittany Cherry. Oh, this I loved and hated at the same time. I did think that it was a cute romance. I liked the relationship buildup, and then once the relationship kind of started going and kicking off and there was kind of like a halt to the climax of the story, I was not particularly a fan of that, but it does sum up really nicely, and it is a quick, cute read. So it definitely is a tearjerker, so if you want a good cry, pick it up. Next was Older by Jennifer Hartman. Now, this was a forbidden romance, and I am just quickly loving Jennifer Hartman. I think that she really does a wonderful job at not only bringing the romance, but bringing true emotional rawness and grit to her book. The forbidden aspect of it, it's kind of in the title, obviously. Young girl falls in love with an older man. He happens to be her best friend's father, so it's just twisted in a few different ways, but you don't have a moral compass when you read a Jennifer Hartman book. Like, you're just like, I don't care, they need to be together. You're rooting for their relationship every single time, no matter how complicated or twisted it is, and I loved this book. Next is Nacadia by Carrie Lake. This was introduced to me as a fantasy novel. I would honestly classify it as a gothic dark romance, and academia romance as well. So I don't really get fantasy from it if you are kind of looking for that. But this was an awesome book. I had so much fun reading this book. It is eerie, it is strange, and it is a standalone. So if you want something that delivers kind of what a fantasy novel would give you without having to read 17 books to get to the point, I would definitely recommend picking this up. Twisted Hate by Hannah Huang. Listen to me and listen to me clear. I love the Twisted series. I think it is so much fun. And it's just the spice in these books is giving every single time. And I'm sorry, but I loved this one. And last, I did The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. And you've probably seen my other videos on this, but I was absolutely soul crushed reading this book, and I rated it very highly, but check your trigger warnings. It's definitely an extremely emotional ride. And if you don't want to cry your eyes out, be emotionally devastated for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, then do not read this book because you will experience all of those things. Rebecca was really trying to rip your heart out when she wrote this one. So just a forewarning, but I did rate it highly because I'm crazy and I like to make myself cry.